Let's go.
So the gallery is completely full of people.
Righto, we're live, thank you. So we'll open the meeting at 6:30. Thank you very much. Apologies, we've got a leave of absence recommendation that council resolves that leave of absence be from all duties of office be granted to Councillor Chris Mead for 18th of December 2024. Do I do them separately or can I do them together?
No, can you do them separately, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
How do I move it for that? Yep. Neville, seconder. Luke, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Recommendation that council resolves that leave of absence from all duties of office be granted to Councillor Campbell Michelle from 18th December 2024 to 7th of January 2025. Move it, Trevor. Seconder, David. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. 2.3, there's no absentees, no absence. 3, confirmation of council minutes. Recommendation of minutes of the ordinary council meeting held Wednesday 20th November 2024 and the special council meeting held Wednesday 20th November 2024 be taken as read and confirmed. Have a mover, please. Trevor. Seconder, Luke. Do you want to speak to that? All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. We'll go to page 28. Mayor's opening remark. I know that was a new thing we put in, and I'm not sure that. What's the design intent for that?
Through the mayor. Okay, what's designed for is if we were having presentations or something like that, you might brief the members on that. It might be something like if a significant event happened in the community, you might, you might acknowledge that, for example. So it's that sort of thing. That's kind of what's it's a bit of a catch-all.
Yeah. I probably will make one comment. Last night I went to the Murrayville Community College school presentations, and it's a nighttime one over there, so the community gets involved quite heavily, and it was a good night had by all. They got, I think, 90 odd students this year, but I think their fear is they're going to go down by about 10 next year, which is disappointing for them. And although they did, one of the parents there quite happily proclaimed, that's all right, we get bleed off from you. So I'm happy about that. So that's it for me. 5 declarations, conflict of interest. Does anyone have any? No? Thank you. Petitions, there are none. Deputations, there are none. Presentations, there are none. So page 29, elected members' reports, mayoral update. The council receives and notes the content of this report. Obviously, I move it. Seconder, please. Luke, does anyone want to speak to it?
What do you do in spare time?
Not much.
Yeah.
There's a bit there. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. And yeah, I think it's self-evident. I don't need to speak to any of those. So if you ever got any questions, just ask me. I'm happy to talk about them. So 9 elected members' reports. Does anyone have one that they wish to put forward? No meetings? No.
I only just went to these meetings, Lameroo, Pinaroo. Geranium.
Yeah.
Most of us went there.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. In that case, we'll move through to 10.
Can we resolve that, please?
Sorry?
Can we get a resolution on that, please?
That none have been received and noted.
Right. Now, one has been received and noted.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll have a mover that Neville and Co went to the meetings. Seconder, Luke, since you were there, all those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. So that was, well, it wasn't the same to every meeting. So I guess we had in Pinaroo, we had Councillor Michelle, Councillor Kennedy, we had Councillor Pfeiffer, we had Chris was here, Councillor
Mead was here.
We have everyone. So we had everyone. Not me. I was not you. So you weren't. So everyone bar Trevor.
To where?
To here, Pinaroo.
No, I didn't.
And you didn't come.
No.
So everyone bar Trevor and David. To Lameroo was
The whole lot.
So,
yeah, I think it was
Everyone.
It was everyone at Lameroo.
Yeah.
and I missed out on.
And at Geranium, we didn't have Campbell or Luke. Or no, that was it. Campbell or Luke. Yep. So thank you for those attendances there. That was really good. I think it was good that we showed everyone was there. Mostly. So page 33, reports, time and place of ordinary meeting. Hand over to Lachlan.
Thank you. Through the mayor, so you considered a similar report at the last meeting of council, but because there was at least one absence, maybe 2, you wanted to hold it over to discuss further. But in asking us to hold it over, you wanted to explore, or we were asked to explore more around the issue of daytime meetings and also meeting at other venues. So we supplemented the report with information on both of those things. And so what we're seeking from you tonight is to, at minimum, set the meeting schedule for next year. And in doing so, you will need to contemplate the time of the meeting, the frequency of the meetings, and the locations of the meetings.
We have to change the January meeting too.
Well, that's where we would do it.
Yeah. And so, picking up Councillor Pfeiffer. So at the moment, we're proposing that all the meetings will be the third Wednesday of the month, as is currently the way, except when we wrote the report, we suggested the fourth Wednesday of the month for January, which would provide a little bit more time for agenda preparation in the new year after the Christmas break. However, as I advised members during the workshop, that if you stay with the current meeting time, commencement at 6:30 p.m, then the interim CEO won't be able to attend that meeting on the fourth Wednesday in January, being the 22nd. But if you either have a daytime meeting for that or any other meetings, or if you revert back to the third Wednesday as is the rest of the schedule for the year, then he's able to attend that. In terms of the scheduling, we've structured it in terms of that recommendation with the 2-1 split that you currently use. If you obviously want something different, you'll need to let us know what you want that to be, whether or not you wanted to bring in an alternate venue at times. Well, you just need to tell us where in that schedule you want to put that, even though you probably won't be able to name the actual location, because we'll need to check with availability of other venues and bookings and that sort of stuff. So we might need, if you're looking to do that, you'll probably just need to suggest that, and this is, I'm not recommending this, but if you want to do like every fourth meeting would be somewhere else, we might have to just put it as alternate venue to be confirmed or something like that for the purposes of the resolution tonight.
Can I have leave of the chamber to go away from standing orders and just have a discussion? Show of hands, please. Yep, thank you. So if I can, I'll start by saying, from my point of view, I think it's fine that we accept the same strategy as last year, leave it with nighttime meetings. I think it's just as easy. Recommendation from administration, which works better for the administration, to bring it to the third Wednesday as a nighttime meeting in January, being that it's going to be quite a simple meeting, or are we better off to do a daytime one on the 22nd? Because we don't have to prepare for it, you guys do, not you, but Mark.
Do you mind if I just consult with the staff? Do either of you have something that you want to bring to January that you need the extra week for, or because the only things I can think of, Shiloh, you've got the dental report, which we've kind of got now, and Tony, if you're bringing something from Corinne into January, would be the only other thing I think will be urgent.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've got.
Yeah.
But it can be whatever.
No, but we're saying it needs to be, if it's the 22nd, it needs to be daytime, which is fine. I don't think anyone's got a problem having a daytime meeting one, because it don't need to be an afternoon. We don't need to make it a morning.
Daytime in the 22nd.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So if we said the 22nd, but do the 22nd as a, I don't know what time suits, at 1 o'clock or something.
Given that there's not going to be any workshops, well, I'm not aware of any workshops that day, then 1 o'clock will be fine.
Yeah, right.
Although if you are looking at doing daytime at other times, I'd say probably 2 o'clock would be better to allow a little bit more workshop time in the mornings, if that was going to happen.
Certainly my suggestion here is we leave everything else at the night time, 6:30, same cycle we've been using. Just make that one meeting at 1 p.m, bearing in mind that there may be a need for the CEO recruitment panel potentially to meet before it. It might be an opportune time to get them together as well. So that provides that opportunity.
And 1 p.m. will suit the acting CEO, won't it?
Well, that will get him out.
That's what I'm worried about. Make sure he's there.
He said that he's comfortable with that. It's just that he doesn't want to be driving back to Adelaide at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's all right. Yeah, no worries.
And the other note I was going to make with reference to holding meetings at other venues, rather than complicate our actual meeting schedule and complicating staffing and all of that. I think our community meetings went very well, and I certainly would like to see those happen again in 6 months, and I think we can use that as the way to go and meet with the community rather than have our actual meeting there. That way we're not dragging everyone else there for it. I think it makes more sense and doesn't have any IT implications either.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my view. Trevor, anything you want?
I agree with that. I'm happy with that too.
Yeah, I'm happy, especially with we having sessions before, briefing sessions. It's good. You we could have them earlier. So
Well, some of our days have ended up nearly full if we do a visit and briefings and all that. So,
that's what works good. Like it's been the last year, it's been good. So keep with that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, do I need a vote to come back in?
No, you just determined the.
We're back in. End of that. We where's my gavel? So we're back in, and therefore, so that basically it's just a slightly revised motion with the change being the 22nd would be from 1 p.m. and all other meetings would be 6:30 p.m. And as per the list that's scheduled there.
So through the mayor, Shana's actually got that up on the screen
There you go.
to look at there.
Well, there you go. Isn't she good?
Fourth Wednesday.
She's quick.
Yes, she's quick.
Yeah. Well, it's not as quick as me reading it, all right? There's so many dashes and dots and arrows.
Can you see it?
Barely. Right, cool. So there's in that case, I'll have Lachlan reread the motion, thanks. Well, you took the
Okay. The council resolves to 1, receive and note the contents of the report. 2, adopt the following meeting arrangements for all ordinary meetings of council for the next 12 months to commence at 6:30 p.m. on the 3rd Wednesday of each month, except for the January 2025 ordinary meeting of council to be held on the 4th Wednesday of the month at 1 p.m. at the listed locations as follows. 22nd of January 2025 at the Lameroo Council Chamber. 19 February 2025 Lameroo Council Chambers. 19 March 2025, Pinaroo Council Chambers. 16th April 2025, Lameroo Council Chambers. 21st of May 2025, Lameroo Council Chambers. 18th of June 2025, Pinaroo Council Chambers. 16th of July 2025, Lameroo Council Chambers. 12th of August 2025, Lameroo Council Chambers.
20th.
17. Didn't I say 20th?
No, he said 12.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. The 17th of September 2025, Pinaroo Council Chambers. 14th of October 2025, Lameroo Council Chambers, and 19th of November 2025, Lameroo Council Chambers. That was worthwhile doing that.
No need for nomenclature.
No
Non-ligature.
none of them in there.
Do I have a mover?
Yeah, right back.
Neville, seconded. Trevor. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you very much. It's your last meeting, and it's your last meeting as CEO, so we've got to get out.
Exactly.
You're not going to have to do that anymore. Page 37. 11.2, review of confidential items. CEO. So, do we need to move into confidence?
No. So through the mayor, you're required to look at to review the confidential items register at least every 12 months. And so if you're happy just to look at the report and the schedule, you don't need to go into confidence at all. However, if you did want to discuss any of the items specifically, you'll need to move into confidence to do so. And Shona's got a confidentiality order that she can put up should you need to do so. What's in front of you, though, is that we've reviewed the register. Now, you remember that we did a fairly extensive program this time last year, or January last year, and stripped out a lot of the stuff we could. I'd say that the majority of that register now is the hardcore, difficult things that will sit on the register for quite a while, given the nature of the information that was in the reports that went to council at those various times. So, nonetheless, in Appendix 1, it does list a number of items that we're suggesting should be released from confidence. Most of those items were put into confidence before I commenced, so we've more recently changed how we manage our confidential orders, but the ones at that time did not have the delegation to the CEO to be able to release things from confidence, which is why we're asking you to do so. Shona will put up in terms of the recommendation, she'll put up a slightly amended recommendation 2, which does what the recommendation 2 in your agenda does, but what it does at part B is delegate to the CEO the ability to release any of those items on that register, partially or fully, as they decide, which is essentially the delegation you give to the CEO now for all new items. So we just want to make sure we're catching up with the old ones and make it a little bit easier to transact business and not have to bring it to you every single time. So that brings us to
Glasses.
the glasses again, it's just a little out of my range there. That council, 1, receives and notes the contents of the report. 2, approves all of the items recommended to be retaining. That's actually not the wording I had. No, you missed that. So for the part 2 bit was for the items
here,
recommended to be retained in confidence. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. For the items recommended to be retained in confidence as shown in the attachment to this report, titled Confidential Items Register Review, 18 December 2024. A, pursuant to section 91(7) of the Local Government Act, council orders that the items be retained in confidence on the basis of the identified elements of section 90, subsection 3, against each respective item until the 31st of December 2025. And B, pursuant to section 91(9)(c) of the Local Government Act, council delegates the power to revoke confidentiality orders for these items either partially or in full to the Chief Executive Officer. And number 3, approves all the items recommended to be no longer be retained in confidence as shown in the attachment in this report titled Confidential Items Register 18 December 2024 to no longer be retained in confidence.
Do I have a mover for that?
You do.
David, a second to Luke. Does anyone want to speak to that or go into confidence for any of the items? No, all those in favour? Against? Carried, thank you. 49, reports, council and committee resolution implementation status report.
Thank you. Through the Mayor, this is the standard resolution implementation status report for you. So as always, we've updated the status of the items as we believe they are. And we're looking for you to either agree that they are completed, in which case they will be removed from the register, or if you're unhappy with any of the status reports, we can speak to them now and we can change the status if you wish us to do so. So the recommendation as it's currently written is that the council resolves to 1, receive and note the contents of this report, 2, to determine that the resolutions identified in attachment 1 as completed have been accomplished and no further status reports will be provided on those resolutions.
Do I have a move for that? That's good. Neville, second Luke. Does anyone want to speak to that? All those in favour? Against? Carried, thank you. That's the one thing that you left us, it's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
It is, absolutely. I did not say that in jest.
It's a really good idea.
Page 80, 12, questions on notice. There aren't any. 13, motions on notice. 13.1, Councillor Me, change to the 2024-5 Capital Works Program, Pinaroo Institute and Lameroo Memorial Hall. The motion that council resolves to amend the 24-5 Capital Works Program to remove the following projects. 1, Lameroo Memorial Hall Kitchen and Supper Room Renewal, $95,000. And 2, Pinaroo Institute Kitchen, Grain Room and Show Office Renewal, $95,000. Rationale, obviously is written there, but I'll say it as well. The council has initiated building condition assessments, componentisation and evaluation project, which is being conducted in 2 stages. This work remains outstanding and although in progress will not be delivered in a time frame to allow community consultation if needed and therefore good decision making in these areas. These reports and subsequent plans and budgets will be used in public consultation around future asset uses and requirements. Given this situation and that the 2 buildings will be assessed in the first stage of the project, progression with the Lameroo Memorial Hall and Pinaroo Institute projects in the 24-5 Capital Works Program may not be prudent at this time. So that's the rationale behind it. Obviously, I'm the mover of it. Do I have a seconder for that? Luke, does anyone wish to speak to that? No? All right. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you. Page 84. 13.2, motions of notice again. Notice of rescission. Again, me, Councillor Ron Valentine, Part 5, sale of grader of the resolutions associated with item 9.2 of the 20th November 24 Ordinary Council meeting. Attachments 1, item 9.2, notice of motion cessation of dry grading 20th November 24. The motion is that Council resolves to rescind Part 5 of the resolutions associated with item 9.2 of the 20th November 24 Ordinary Council meeting, being that the Council resolves to authorise the Director of Infrastructure Services to sell the John Deere grader for current market value or greater. Again, I'll read the rationale. Council initiated a series of public meetings to discuss resolutions associated with item 9.2 of the 20th November 24 Ordinary Council meeting and other issues community would like to raise. Whilst there is apprehension around ceasing dry road grading and not grading new roads for a period of 5 years, 9.2 Part 4 authorises the Director of Infrastructure Services and their team to both dry grade and grade a new road if they determine it necessary. There is also a strong view it was better to hold on to the Zhongde grader whilst we await the outcome from our roads policy piece, making it available operationally when needed. Taking on board feedback received, I put the above rescission motion for the Chamber to consider. So I'm moving it. Do I have a seconder? David, does anyone wish to speak to that?
I think the motion was pretty open-ended because it wasn't dated to when to sell it. So it really carried on with the general way of business thinking was going.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I would probably just say I've put this to take any ambiguity or away from it, and to also give the administration a clear direction, because otherwise, I guess they would have interpreted it now that dry grading has ceased operationally. They would look to sell it. So that's sort of why I put that decision. So thanks, Trevor. Anyone else?
Oh, my attitude's the same as Trevor. I could just,
Yeah.
and to be fair, there's plenty of other things for the people to do instead of trying to sell a grader.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. All those in favour? Against? You've got to vote. You can go either way.
No, I was for it.
Carried. Thank you. Page 97. Questions without notice. Trevor?
No, I think we've covered all my previous issues.
Wow.
Got them out of the way.
Anyone else? No? Just excuse me. No, I'm just thinking there was something we discussed earlier that did you, so motions without notice is the next one, and we discussed something earlier and now it's completely slipped my mind as to whether we should give an instruction.
I do have a question without notice.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry, we'll come back. We'll go to that first.
Can Lachlan still do our governance work from where he is going to?
Sorry, is that a serious
yes,
question?
yeah,
You want
it
to
is,
answer to?
yeah.
Thank you, through the Mayor. Thank you for that question. My role with Alexandrina Council, which is titled Manager, Governance and Communications, my first priority will be to deliver services to the Alexandrina Council. In discussions I've had with them, they have discussed with some neighbouring councils about some potentially mentoring / advisory work being done with neighbouring councils, but that is very evolutionary at this stage. So I certainly cannot, on behalf of that organisation, make any commitment at all to be providing services to any other organisation during my work time.
But there's potential. Potential.
As I said,
He can't.
I can't.
It's all right. I was just trying to get it in.
I think you're being a bit right.
I was having a crack.
Is that a question that should be written up there or not?
Probably not.
Probably not. Righto, then we won't. Motions without notice. Now, it was something about an instruction. It may be better for us to give an instruction.
That's right.
Yeah.
I only wish I could find that bit of paper because that's okay.
I thought it was off then. Was it this one? Yes. So with regard to, and this is just a discussion at the minute, with regard to the fencing or stuff on Chandos Terrace, do we want to put something to just do even that side for a couple of days to just get something happening?
Yeah.
And if it is, I think someone can just put that forward. And I think being that it's close to you, I think, Trevor, you could do it if you wish to.
It's a motion, isn't it?
Yes, it's a motion without notice. So I don't think we need to, you can just say what it is that you want to do and the rest of it can be structured around that. Is that the?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll put the motion that we construct a small chain fence with probably wooden posts on probably the couple of eroded parts of that section. Probably 3.
And that's, is that Lamoureux South or Chandos?
I think it's still Chandos at that
Chandos.
stage. Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't know when it's.
So I think you can make, you can make reference in there, in response to,
Yeah,
Ranch.
Scott's
to Mr. Rampke's questions.
citizens' response.
Yeah. Does that sort of frame it up?
Yeah, we'll be able to, as long as the members clearly understand the
Yeah.
intent, we'll tidy up.
It's not a
Yeah,
chain
we
wire fence, it's just the chain on the posts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a couple of posts with a
Yeah.
chain, and from what I'm hearing, probably 2 bays that have got the erosion
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Do I have a seconder for that?
Yeah.
Luke, anyone else want to speak to that? What colour's the chain?
That yellow plastic one from.
All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thanks, Trevor. Someone else have anything they want to? No? 16, confidential items. So we need to go into confidence. So do I have a move? Yeah, do I have a mover to go into confidence?